I think that any good engineering school is always asking the question, who are we training and what jobs are we training them for? Well, what we're seeing is that more and more technology companies, whether it's the internet companies who you would expect or other companies that just have information as a component of their product or service offering, are looking to hire students who have some combination of engineering expertise and an awareness of policy. So our students already are fanned out at the leading internet companies. They're working in government agencies. They're working for international organizations. They're working for civil society, consumer advocacy organizations. And what we're seeing more and more is that students want these jobs, and many of the industrial partners that MIT has really are looking for students who have this kind of perspective. Obviously, the internet platform industry, all of the major internet platforms and internet service providers have growing questions about privacy, about cybersecurity, about intellectual property, and so therefore they need students who bring a combination of engineering expertise and an awareness and understanding of how to look at public policy questions, whether it's how to explain to their regulators what's going on with the technology of the company, or what we're seeing more and more is that companies are putting lawyers or engineers with policy background onto product teams and say, as you're designing a new product or a service, be aware of the privacy questions, be aware of the cybersecurity questions, so that when the product or service is ready to put out to market, you don't have a big surprise and discover that you've stepped into an enormous policy problem. So we're seeing that in financial services companies, in the internet companies, in Internet of Things companies, in telecommunications companies, certainly in healthcare and life sciences companies that are more and more information driven. Many sectors are really finding the need for students who bring this combination of expertise. Both engineers and lawyers and public policy officials in many of the technology companies have been very important partners for us. They've helped us understand technical aspects of their particular business and their service offerings so that we're able to study them better. They've made us aware of what they see as coming public policy challenges as a way to help us guide our research. We've been very lucky in the early years of IPRI. We've been supported by a large grant from the Hewlett Family Foundation, and we're just now beginning to consider what kinds of industrial partnerships we want to have from a funding perspective, but we've all along had very close partnerships with industry on the substantive research projects that we've been involved with. In order to make sure that the infrastructure that we live in is designed with policy awareness, with a sense of how to approach privacy, cybersecurity, and other issues, the companies that design these systems are going to have to step up to those challenges. Our aim is to provide research that can guide those challenges. We'd love to have partners from research doing that work with us, and probably most importantly, our aim is to produce students who can go and do the work in these companies. So we are looking forward to engaging with companies in a number of different industries to understand what are the compelling research challenges that they see, how can we work on those together, and how can we make sure to be training the right mix of students with the right kinds of skills to help companies in this information environment address the policy challenges of the information age. One of the exciting things that we've been doing at IPRI is creating an environment where governments from all around the world can come to MIT, can learn about the technology that's being pioneered here, and also discuss the policy challenges that these governments see in light of these new technologies. We've had senior government official, cabinet officials from the United States, from the United Kingdom. We've had parliamentarians literally from all around the world come learn from us. We've learned a lot from them. Our students have learned a lot from them. They've hired some of our students, which we're excited about. So we really see IPRI as helping MIT to become a hub of discussing the critical questions about how we ensure that the internet develops in a way that respects privacy, that's secure, that meets the needs of our societies, and meets the needs of governments all at the same time.